Welcome to Creative Spirit Gathering. I'm your host, Jen Hutchins, founder of Unity Arts Ministry. Our mission, our passion, our goal is to inspire transformation through creative expression and spiritual enrichment. We are so glad that you are here, whether this is your first time joining us or you've been with us for years. You are an important part of this community. So thank you for bringing your energy and your creative spirit with us today. So we're going to be leaning into our art journal today, exploring what's on our mind and heart in creative expression. And as always, I give you freedom to express however you feel called to do so today. But I'm going to specifically be leaning in to this idea of creating pockets today. I'm going to call them pockets of possibility because when you create a pocket in your journal, you create new pages. So it's not just one page, but you can create additional pages or space for new things to come in throughout the week. So this is not a one-day project. This is going to be an all-week long project. I want you to think about your pockets of possibility and what you're going to be putting in there. I'll explain more about that. So, possibility. Week 5 in Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, is titled Recovering a Sense of Possibility. And right off the bat, she says, one of the things to accepting God's generosity and is our own limited notion of what we are in fact able to accomplish. Again, I want to remind you that sometimes she replaces the word God with the creator or universe. She gives us permission to rephrase that word if that doesn't sit with you in your current experience. But this idea that sometimes we limit ourselves on what we're able to accomplish. So whether that's with your creative life and your creativity or like the bigger, grander scale of the life that you are creating, right? We all probably, I'm assuming you've had these moments where some idea comes up in your mind and you think, ooh, that would be fun, right? Like that little joy spark. I would love to do that. I would love to try that. And then the killjoy comes in, but, right? But that list of reasons why you can't do that, right? I would love to try that new art material, but I don't have time to learn something new, but I would need classes, but I don't have the money for the classes, but I need more supplies. And we start talking ourselves out of it before we really lean into that joy and go, yeah, what if that were possible? So what she's inviting us to look at, and really this is a spiritual tool, is to pay attention. Pay attention to those sparks of joy that are in your heart, those things that call you forward. And then if you notice that, but, starting to pull you back from it, notice that, observe it, and turn it around to a what if. What if it is possible? What if I could find a way to make that happen? So we're leaning into the possibility instead of the no, it's possible. Sometimes these things, when we say yes, right, and we lean into the possibility, sometimes they take some action on our part, right? It's not just about saying, yeah, but it's possible. I'm going to call one of our friends here out a little bit. Big one, right? I have a dream, a vision to go to France and paint and draw. You all know who this is, yes. I mean, aside from me, right? There's somebody here who's been holding this dream for many, many years. And you could have that thought, right? I would love to go to France and bring my art supplies and paint. And how much fun would that be? And you could easily tell yourself, but it's never going to happen. That's not going to happen, right? And you set that aside. Or you could say, that is possible. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm going to keep my eyes out. I'm going to keep my heart open. And I'm going to make sure that when that opportunity comes before me, I say yes. I say yes. And I know that the resources are there. The possibility is there because I've been holding this open space for it. And Julia Cameron goes on in this chapter to say, remembering that God, again, the creator, that higher power, that which is bigger than my little self, is my source. We are in the spiritual position of having an unlimited account, unlimited anything that we say yes to, that we say, yes, this is my possibility. This is something that I want to call forward. Now, I shared this idea of somebody's France dream. Several years back, the idea came to me through one of my art journal processes that I wanted to go to Ireland. I was like, that'd be fun, right? Like Ireland kept coming up and I kept putting it, little pictures of castles on my journal pages. And one day I found out that the school that I was attending was hosting a retreat to Ireland. And so my heart went, woo, yes, right? Like that. Yes, I want to do that. And then shortly after, I caught myself with but I don't have the resources to do that. And like, I started looking it up, how much would it cost and blah, blah, blah. And so like within a day, I like shut it down. That's not possible. It's not going to happen. Shut it down. The next day, came back to my art journal and I went, wait a minute. I believe in possibilities. I believe that there is a way that is beyond my limited thinking right now around this. There is a way to make this possible. And so I sat with him in meditation and I decided, I'm going to reach out to somebody that I know that is like responsible for making this trip happen and just ask, are there student discounts? Is something possible? So I asked and they responded back, well, as it just so happens, somebody sent us in enough funds for a student scholarship yesterday, and we're going to be putting out this possibility and taking applications for this. You know where this is going, right? Y'all, I went to Ireland for free because I said yes, because I said this is a possibility that I'm going to lean into. I cannot tell you how many things that have started as the like, oh, but, like that's crazy. It's too wild. It's too much, that have then manifested in my life. And I'm sure if I were to ask each one of you, you could at least name one thing that seemed like this is outrageous, this is crazy, but you said yes to it and it has come true, whether it's going to France with me this year on an art retreat or whatever that is for you, right? Whatever that is, just knowing that we said yes to one thing and we saw it happen then opens us up to this knowing. It's not just like little faith, like, oh, maybe it's possible. It's like, it happens. Like, watch it expand. And then we open up to the knowing that it's possible the next time we catch ourselves going, ooh, yes, and start shrinking back. Say, no, don't shrink back. I'm going to say yes to this. I'm going to say yes to the possibilities. So this brings me back to pockets of possibility for today, because what I'm going to invite you to do today is create a pocket somewhere on your journal. Now, what you do with your background is totally up to you. This one happens to be like lots. It's pen and ink. It's acrylic paint with many layers and textures. And then I have magazine cutouts on here. But the main thing is this pocket, and creating a pocket in your journal page is super easy. I often use either a sheet of watercolor paper or like scrapbook paper, because it's a little bit heavier in weight. If I did this with newsprint, my pocket might break pretty easily. So I simply just cut something out on a slightly heavier weight paper. And then when I put my glue on, I just put the glue on the edge of 3 sides. And then I'm able to put that down, leaving one side open. So when it dries, I can put something inside of that. And again, you could do this with bookmarks or individual sheets of paper. I've done this. This one happens to be photos that I printed off my computer. And then I just stapled them together. So I cut them out and stapled them together. And this was Actually, this was like to aid in the selling of a home, a property that we wanted to sell. So it's like my possibility of like, first claiming all the like happiness there, but then there was the willingness to release as we moved into something else. So sort of accepting what was. But on your pages, I want you this week to fill your pocket with possibilities. So pay attention throughout the week when your heart says, ooh, I would like to. What is that? What is coming forward? And you could even sit down intentionally and say, I'm going to write out 20 things that I would love to do and stick them in your pocket, right? You could start doing that today, or maybe today you're just doing your background in your pocket, however that comes forward for you. I shared briefly this other page, and I wanted to point out this one because this was like a really little pocket down here, and I made a mini book. And this is just one sheet of paper folded several times and then created space to put things on the inside. So your pockets can look different. You can fill them with different things as well. The idea is to create pockets, to put in your possibilities. So today, tomorrow, the day after that, the day after that, pay attention. Pay attention to those ideas on your heart, whether they're related to your creativity specifically, a new class that you'd like to take, a new material you'd like to try out. I just found out that they make neon acrylic paints. Those are on my wish list. I've been working with neon watercolors and it's been so much fun. So it's possible. I'm going to get myself a set of neon acrylic paints. And pay attention to those things and have fun with it, right? Like think about what you want to put in your pocket throughout the week as well. So before we jump into our pocket creations for today, we're going to do a short meditation as we center ourselves, presence ourselves for the creative process to come. So if it feels comfortable for you, you might want to put your feet flat on the floor, maybe roll your shoulders, your neck. And we're just going to take 5 deep breaths together today. So noticing that inhale, feeling it go really full and deep. Notice the belly rise, and then exhale it fully. Simply using the breath to bring ourselves present. Allowing this as our form of meditation, breathing in again, deep and full exhale. And we'll move into the last few breaths in silence. And take a moment in your own way to thank Spirit for this opportunity, to presence the possibilities for creating magnificence in your life. So it is. All right, friends, I set you free now to create, to explore, use whatever materials are coming to you today as you work your backgrounds and your pockets, creating space for possibilities throughout the week. Enjoy the process.